Tonight on CTV, a new market opened in Fort Collins with a unique business model. We'll tell you more later on.
Plus, find out what brought all 32 NFL scouts to CSU this week.
And this baby shark is making waves at CSU. Find out why tonight on CTV.
Good evening and welcome to CTV. I'm Ryan Christ.
And I'm Marla Lundak. If you pay rent near CSU, you know how expensive it can be. But there's a chance for more affordable housing that could be built at the old Hughes Stadium site. In order to provide affordable housing for university officials, CSU is negotiating with housing developer Leonard Homes regarding the Hughes Stadium property. However, according to the Coloradoan, nothing specific about lower-cost housing has been added to the contracts yet. But both parties hope to come to an agreement before the 90-day grace period is up and the contract is official. Leonard Homes bought the land in January for $10 million and will likely create about 700 new properties. A 70-year-old man is missing in Rocky Mountain National Park. Park officials told the Coloradoan they do not expect to find James Pruett of Tennessee alive. His car was parked at the Glacier Grove trailhead since Sunday. Chest-deep snow and high winds have caused problems for researchers. If you're planning on hiking in these weather conditions, it's recommended to bring a friend.
If you've ever wanted to go to a huge and free concert at CSU, the Associated Students of Colorado State are trying to make that happen. CTV's Ren Wadsworth has the details.
The Associated Students of CSU Senate hope to make the university a safer, more comfortable, and even a more fun environment for students and staff. Senator Nordstrom proposed a resolution that would keep untrained animals out of classrooms in an attempt to protect people from aggressive and uncontrolled dog behavior. She hopes to ensure the health and safety of students at CSU, as well as trained service dogs on campus. The bill was sent to the University Affairs Committee. The bill regarding Rocky Mountain student media was amended so the outgoing president will negotiate any changes made to the contract. The amended bill passed nearly unanimously. Changes may soon be coming to the way students and residents of Fort Collins live. Director of Community Affairs Yuval Rosenthal announced that City Council has begun moving on the Me+3 ordinance, which is an amendment to the U+2 law. This would be the most change to this law City Council has made in years. President Cyron and Vice President Sullivan agree it is due to Rosenthal's efforts in council meeting.
And that is, we will change U+2. I could not be more happy of Yuval, and I do not think that his report fully grasped the significance of what happened last night. I have never, no one has ever seen change so close.
The change would allow residents with more than 3 bedrooms to house people in those extra rooms. Students will soon be able to access the New York Times for free anywhere and anytime on campus, thanks to Chief of Staff Zachary Weishenpine's unbinding resolution passing in the Senate chamber. A concert for the students at CSU may soon be on the way. President Cyron introduced a plan to use student fee rollover money to fund an end-of-the-year concert. Cyron says he can negotiate between $120,000 and $220,000 for the event. He hopes the concert would show students their fees are coming back to them. But Cyron also hopes the concert would detract from the annual Undie Run. The concert would take place the same night as the Undie Run. President Cyron says vandalism and reports of sexual assault typically rise the night of the Undie Run. The concert would offer students an alternative. The plan was sent to both university issues and budgetary affairs due to the large sum of money.
The fact that we're looking at this opportunity right now to do something really amazing for the students, to do something really amazing for the CSU community.
For CTV, I'm Ren Wadsworth.
All opposed?
Students can expect to pay about $10 more in student fees next year, but that's just the beginning. The Student Fee Review Board is negotiating fee increase for the 2019-2020 academic year in the first meeting on Monday night. Counseling Services, Laurie Student Center, and Student Resolution Centers all received small increases to keep up with the rising minimum wage. Anyways, the ski season is wrapping up soon, but that doesn't mean the danger of snow is gone.
That's right. In fact, there's so much snow in the mountains right now, it caused a bit of a safety issue. Sydney, what's going on?
Well, Ryan and Marlo, earlier today, Highway 91 was closed due to an avalanche. I-70 has been closed twice this week due to avalanches, and the Colorado Avalanche Information Center recently upgraded their avalanche scale to extreme in the Vail and Summit County region, as well as the Saguache, Gunnison, and Aspen areas. We can take a look here to see a couple of the cities that are in danger and the danger risks that they are facing. Near the popular ski area Copper Mountain and Frisco, I-70 first closed due to an avalanche on Sunday night. Then on Tuesday, the Colorado Department of Transportation closed I-70 east and westbound for more than 9 hours because Mount Bethel spilled 8 to 15 feet of snow across the road. If you have any plans to go skiing this weekend, be sure to check daily reports for warnings of avalanches before you go. Stick around for your weekend weather updates coming up soon. Back to you two.
Thanks, Sydney. More on-campus housing is on its way for CSU students. The Ellsworth building will be torn down to make room for a new dorm called Meridian Village on Tuesday. The process started with a construction fence placed around the building. Deconstruction will begin later this spring and should finish in 2022. The village will span from Ellsworth to Newsom. Both buildings will be torn down to make room for the new dorm.
If you're looking for a location closer to campus to buy your groceries, then you might be in luck. A new Organic Grocer opened up just north of campus this past week.
3, 2, 1. We are officially open.
Lucky's Market opened their Fort Collins store location with their grand opening bacon cutting ceremony on Wednesday morning. The Natural and Organic Market, founded by 2 chefs in Boulder, now has 5 locations across the state.
Bo and Trish Sharon.
Thank you. We are so excited to be here in Fort Collins opening a store.
Lucky's Market teams up with organizations across Fort Collins to bring resources to those in need in the community.
We partner with people in Fort Collins. Our private label sales, the 10% goes back from all those private label sales back into those programs that fund our neighbors.
Programs like the Arc of Larimer County, Homeward Alliance, and Bike Fort Collins all receive funds through Lucky's in-store programs. The Lucky's Market website also provides impact reports to allow customers to view exactly how the store has given back to the community throughout the year.
So many people, I think it's 1 in 4 people in Fort Collins utilize the food bank. It's either 1 in 4 or 1 in 5, but that's your neighbor. That's like someone across the street. So I just love that Lucky's is so passionate about sharing food and partnering with people who have food accessibility issues.
Kroger Company, the parent company of King Soopers, invested in Lucky's in 2016, allowing the niche grocer to expand locations across the state, Midwest, and Southeast. The planning of the Fort Collins location has been in place since Sports Authority closed down in 2016. Now, after more than $3 million in renovations, the space is officially open and ready for Fort Collins residents. For some people, unprocessed and additive-free foods are a must, but that might not always agree with your budget, especially for college students.
Buying organic food is important to me. I think for a lot of college students, it's just a matter of affordability, and oftentimes, more than not, organic food is more expensive.
Buying organic food is really important to me because since moving out, I wasn't able to have all of the major food groups. I could only afford fast food, and so now I feel a difference in my health not being able to afford organic foods. So if organic foods were more affordable and more accessible, I would definitely pay more attention to it.
Yeah, I try to avoid it. It's a little more expensive than my budget, so yeah.
Not particularly, but I think that it is an important market for a lot of people. I think that should be cultivated and grown more, but for me, I just kind of buy whatever's cheapest.
I basically rely on King Soopers and what they have organically, but if there was, like you're saying, a new organic spot that's easy for students to go to, I would definitely hit it up.
I try to when I can afford it.
I think a lot of organic is just marketing, right, as opposed to it actually being something that's better for the environment or better for us. So I think if that changed and if it were actually like organic meant something more than just, hey, look, we didn't use pesticides, then I would definitely buy it.
Today, volunteers from facilities management emptied campus dumpsters to sort through and find out how much trash the dorms are actually producing.
Not like you. And it was great because we had to stay on this plane for another.
Which, according to the volunteers, is a truckload of trash. This audit happens each semester to get an accurate estimate of how much waste the campus produces each year. As they sort through the trash, management can also see how well students sort out their trash each year.
Some may just not care enough to sort out the waste, but it is definitely a challenge, and like from us sorting it all day, we definitely know that a lot of people are not putting it in the right places.
It's a day to honor women around the world. Tomorrow, the Women's Caucus will host a celebration for the CSU community in honor of International Women's Day. Those interested in attending can find a mixer in the ASCSU Senate chambers from 1 to 3 in the afternoon.
It's not a puppy or a kitten, but it's still pretty cute. A baby shark will hatch on CSU's campus soon. The banded cat shark is located in Yates on the 3rd floor. This shark egg is called a mermaid pouch and has been developing for 90 days. The banded cat shark can grow to a maximum size of 3 feet. Typically with these sharks, people cut them out of their eggs since it takes 118 days to develop. But Portia Robinson's, the head of all of the aquariums on campus, is letting them grow on their own. The baby shark even has a little bluefish friend to see if it's an aggressive shark or if it has the potential for cohabitation. To find out more about aquariums on campus or watch these sharks grow, you can contact the Aquarium Club at the email below. Well, thanks for spending part of your evening with us, Rams. But don't go anywhere because Jared Stratton takes a closer look at CSU's Pro Take and how Preston Williams measured up.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Well, Thomas, you've got prediabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have prediabetes. Big time.
Hello Rams and welcome back from the break. I'm Sydney Wicker here to bring you the latest on the weather happening around campus. Let's get started by taking a look at your current conditions. Currently it's 36 degrees outside with the slight wind coming in at 4 miles per hour from the southwest corner. There's a little bit of precipitation in the air tonight, but with the clear skies that we've been having all day today, we should be good without any snow or rain. But looking at today, we had a little bit of clouds in the air, but it started to clear up through the rest of the afternoon and the sun was shining. There's still a little bit of snow on the ground, but it's starting to melt quite quickly. Students were passing to and from campus trying to soak up the little bit of sun that they've had, because it sure has been a while since we've had some nice weather. If we take a look at the I-25 corridor for tonight's overnight lows, we have 20 scattered all across, 28 in Denver, Colorado Springs, and Pueblo. Moving into the mountains, Vail is actually under a weather advisory, so snow is expected. And as we look at Grand Junction, it's warming up all the way to 40 degrees. If we look at tomorrow's highs, we see 40s in Fort Collins and Denver, but it warms up to 55 in Colorado Springs and 63 in Pueblo. Taking a look at tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be 45 degrees with a low of 27, and we might see some PM showers. There could be a little bit of snow coming in, but it'll mostly be rain since it will be a little bit warmer. Just be aware of that and be sure to bring a jacket on campus. Looking at your 5-day forecast, like I said, Saturday is going to be a little windy and it's going to warm up to 44 degrees with a low 16. Looking at Sunday, be sure to set those clocks forward and spring forward as we are setting our clocks an hour ahead. And then for the rest of the week, it's going to be 40s. Well, Rams, that's all I have for you right now, but don't go anywhere because Jared Stratton has all your updates that you need to know from CSU's Pro Day.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from the break, Rams. I am Jared Stratton, here to catch you up on what's going on in CSU and professional athletics. On Tuesday, the men's basketball team took on Utah State and Moby Arena, who jumped to the first place in the Mountain West. The Rams struggled early in the game, pushing them to a 5-point deficit at halftime. Although the Rams were down, they refused to go quietly with a pair of three-pointers from J.D. Page, followed by 2 crucial free throws. Utah State responded by pulling away by 12 points, but that lead did not last for long. The Rams kept fighting for scores, and after Chris Martin's free throws, the Rams gained their first lead of the game. The Rams tried to hold on to this lead, but with 19 seconds left, their star player Nico Carvacho fouled out. Utah State got the advantage and pushed the game into overtime to eventually pull off that win. Although CSU lost, we saw the emergence of Chris Martin, who scored 20 points and had his first ever career double-double. J.D. Page followed with 29 points, and Carvacho tagged on another double-double of 19 points and 11 rebounds. The Rams also shot 46% from beyond the arc, which is an improvement on the season. The last game for the men's basketball team is against UNLV this Saturday, followed by the Mountain West Tournament, which tips off on Wednesday, March 13th. On the other side of basketball, the women's team is currently playing at UNLV for their last game of the season. That game is currently tied 5-5 in the first quarter. And if the Rams win this game, they will play against UNLV in the first round of the tournament, who they already beat this year. But if they lose, they'll play against Utah State, who have beat the Rams twice with a combined 30 points. This game needs to be won for the Rams if they plan on making any type of deep run in the Mountain West tournament, with their last Mountain West championship being back in 2016. For more updates on the tournament coming up, Sydney Wicker will be reporting in Las Vegas, so make sure you follow us on Twitter and subscribe on YouTube. Well, yesterday was Pro Day, and this week CSU players that weren't invited to the NFL Combine show what they had to offer to the NFL teams. And all 32 NFL teams went to the CSU Pro Day, which shows how much interest they have in all these players. Wide receiver Olabisi Johnson was the only player invited to the NFL Combine, but still decided to show support and participate in some drills at the Pro Day with his teammates. But almost all eyes were on fellow wide receiver Preston Williams, who was snubbed from the NFL Combine. And regarding his athletic ability, he showed little promise, with disappointing numbers all across the board, especially with his lack of knowledge on the drills. Once group drills came in, he showed his catching range and footwork. On the defensive side of the ball, though, Josh Watson shined for the Rams with impressive athletic ability in the linebacker position. Quarterback KJ Carr-Samuels also showed some promise with a nice touch on his deep throws. Now that Pro Day is over, the Rams will be waiting to hear their names called in the NFL Draft, which is April 25th to the 27th, with the expectation to see Olabisi Johnson and Preston Williams going in the later rounds. After the draft, every player will have the opportunity to sign with the team as an undrafted free agent. Well, now it's the best part of the week. It is a 1-minute challenge where I fit in as much sports news as possible in under 1 minute. So let's get that timer started. In the NFL, Case Keenum was just traded to the Redskins to swap 2026 and 7th round picks. Yesterday, the Broncos cut their starting safety, Darian Stewart, and it's a good time to need a safety in the NFL because Darian Stewart now joins free agency, highlighted by Earl Thomas, Lena Collins, Adrian Amos, and Eric Weddle. Jamie Collins has been cut from the Browns, and Blake Bortles is expected to be cut for Nick Foles. And on the other hand, Jadeveon Clowney, Dee Ford, and DeMarcus Lawrence have all been franchise tagged. With the draft, there are rumors that Kyler Murray could go #1 to the Cardinals, which makes Josh Rosen a huge draft target. But there's also conflicting reports saying that he did terrible at the Combine, which could completely destroy his draft stock. Now for the MLB, Bryce Harper has been fined for tampering for talking about bringing Mike Trout to the Phillies, which could cost them over $400 million, breaking his own record he set last week. And the NBA, LeBron James passed Michael Jordan in career points and then went to lose against the Nuggets. In college basketball, scandal after scandal popped up, and it started with a released FBI wiretap from the LSU's head coach about his offers to recruits, as well as 2 other schools being linked to the corruption probe, which will most likely result in legal trials against those schools. Ooh, 1.81. I think it can fit in a little more next time. Well, that's all I have for you tonight, but make sure to check collegian.com and follow us on Twitter at sports_CTV for more. And stay tuned because up next, Lauren Akut is talking about the Jonas Brothers being back. Wait, the Jonas Brothers are back? What is it, year 3000? Lauren!
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Good evening, Rams, and welcome back to your Thursday night dose of entertainment news from this week. If you're good at solving puzzles and love music, then the Fort Collins Escape Room might be the perfect thing for you. Colorado composer and impresario Gustav Hoyer has brought storybook Fort Collins to town. According to the Coloradoan, the musical escape room follows a fictional story tied to Fort Collins history. The main character of the story, Elias Franklin, is named after the real founder of Fort Collins, Franklin Avery. It has storytelling, mysteries to solve, and live music. The escape room opened March 1st at the Downtown Artery and is available every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Fort Collins Brewery, New Belgium, is making its way up north to our Canadian friends after striking a deal with a Toronto-based brewery. Steam Whistle Brewing made a deal with New Belgium to brew their Fat Tire beer in Canada. New Belgium isn't new to the international world. They do ship beer to Sweden and other parts of Canada. New Belgium's public relations director, Brian Simpson, said the deal will make sure that Canadians drink fresh Fat Tire just as Americans do. Well, it looks like Fort Collins beer is making its mark around the world. Okay, so this might be the most exciting news of my life to date, and I cannot wait to talk about it. The Jonas Brothers are back and are killing the charts and my heart with their new single, Sucker. On August 8th, 2006, the Jonas Brothers released their first album and have been the early 2000s tween girls' heartthrob ever since.
Standing next to the Jonas Brothers! Woo!
The success of these three brothers has been everything but uneventful. They had cameo roles in the Disney show Hannah Montana and leading roles in the movies Camp Rock 1 and Camp Rock 2 in 2008 and in 2010, all on top of having their own TV show. In 2013, they decided to break up as band members after selling 20 million records.
We feel like it's time that the Jonas Brothers comes to an end.
Nick and Joe. To our surprise, 6 years later, the brothers released Sucker, their new hit single with already over 4 million hits. So the Jonas Brothers are back. How do you feel about it?
I mean, pretty cool, I guess. Like, I never thought it would happen. I mean, it's like, you know, one of my favorite childhood bands coming back, so yeah, I'm here for it, I guess.
I think it's actually kind of cool in a sense, just because, like, I mean, it's like the 90s kids can kind of, like, and 2000s, can kind of just relive their memory, their childhood, you know, with them together, and I think that makes a lot of people happy.
Good. I think this is like the change America really needed. I really missed them. I think it was like 2013 they broke up or something like that. But yeah, no, we need this. We really do.
Sucker has completely taken over the charts and climbed to the #1 spot on Spotify's United States Top 50. Sucker can also be found in the Global Top 50, Global Viral Top 50, and United States Viral Top 50 playlists. We may see the Jonas Brothers on tour soon, and if Denver is on their list, students would definitely make the trek down to see them.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, why wouldn't I?
Right.
Like, yeah, if it was like a big, like, tour, a big show,
Yeah.
I'd definitely
make it out.
Even if the Jonas Brothers were performing only in New York City, I would spend my every last dime to see that concert, no doubt. So normally I would critique the artist who holds the top spot in Spotify's trending charts list, but if you could have guessed it, the Jonas Brothers stole the #1 title. So instead, let's talk about something a little cooler, literally. The Dillon Ice Castles are closing for the season this Saturday. The Winter Wonderland is located about 2 hours south if you want to make the drive down before it closes. This year, the towers reach nearly 40 feet high, and the castles are decorated with LED lights. It makes you feel like you're literally in a winter wonderland. Normally, this would be my favorite thing to do, but honestly, all the snow has me missing summer more than ever. So, tomorrow is International Women's Day. Who is one woman that inspires you?
I think I'm going to have to say Michelle Obama. She's just incredible, an incredible advocate. I love everything that she's done with health initiatives, so I'm going with Michelle.
Yeah, I'm going to go the sports route here and talk about Erin Andrews. She's been such a powerhouse in the sports industry, and she's just someone that I've always looked up to and just been amazed by, and she's really overcome a lot in her career and in her life, and she's someone I admire. And while I'm on it, I'm sure we all appreciate our moms. I definitely have to give a shout out to my mom because she's the most amazing woman, and I love her so much.
Yes.
Same.
I'm
I say
also
that too.
going to say my mom and my cute little grandma sitting at home. I love her.
Absolutely.
Wouldn't be here without her.
Wonderful women to look up to,
Yes,
for sure.
Absolutely. Well, Rams, that's all the time we have for tonight. Make sure to tune in to CTV Sports on Monday for all the highlights from this weekend's games. More news, same people from the people you know.